Beautiful off-grid camp here, guys, and I thought it's about time we do a 1-year review of our TC Boxes classic canopy. We've had this on the vehicle doing lots of touring around Western Australia and also the East Coast as well. We'll give you an overview of everything we've done to the canopy, any mods and upgrades, and how it's performed and stacked up. So TC Boxes are one of our partners, but we have the flexibility and freedom to talk about everything very honestly on our build, as with all of our partners.
Thanks to the support of our partners, 4x4 Extras Wangara, JB Caravans, TC Boxes, and Petters Suspension and Brakes.
This is the classic canopy. It's a 1500mm canopy with a 1650mm tray on our next gen Ranger. Size-wise, it's about perfect. So it's very similar to the tub that came with the vehicle originally. So that's exactly what we wanted. And the way we've sort of set it up is have all that weight on the axle. So we've got a water tank in there, it's on the rear wheels. That's exactly where you want that weight. Straight away, you'll see we've got a nice big open space here. We haven't put drawers or dividers in the canopy. That's probably the biggest question that you might have. There's a couple of reasons behind that. One is weight. We wanted to keep the weight down. We've got an off-road caravan, JB Gator X. It also gives us lots of flexibility. When we're doing day trips, we can put all sorts of gear in here. So it's a pretty simple kind of setup. We've got these Ridge 4x4 bags that we use to put all sorts of tools and stuff in. We've got a tub. Yeah, we've also got a generator as well. We've got a Honda generator, which we only just bought, which goes right here. So basically what I'm saying is there's lots of flexibility with this setup. One thing I did add is these little eyelets, just in this little rail system here. Just pop them in like that. So you can move it up and down. It gives you tie down options within the canopy. So if you do want to keep the canopy nice and open like this, that gives you lots of options. And look, one thing I'll just mention is this classic canopy by TC Boxes has been discontinued. They've upgraded to their new TCX style. It's now modular. You can slide drawers, dividers in, all sorts of stuff. It's a really nice upgrade, but you know, the basic fundamentals are still there. Same build quality and what have you. So this is still very relevant if you're buying a TCX, but just to note, you can no longer buy this from a TC Boxes. Okay, so that's sort of the inside. You'll see over here, right behind me, a little Cosmo Mini. You might be wondering what that is. So we have Starlink Mini on top of the canopy. That means we have internet connectivity everywhere we go. It's brilliant. So we can be doing 4-wheel drive tracks. We've got Google Maps. We can still have phone conversations. It's absolutely amazing. So that's what that is there. And then behind that, you've got our battery box and we've got a 500-watt inverter. So yeah, just a moderate inverter for charging batteries, anything like that. All the big sort of gear we charge up in our caravan. So we'll flip around the other side as well, just quickly. Might look a bit messy, but look, we're on a lap of Australia, so you know, it has to be functional for us. Ladder, we've got our emergency stuff here, first aid and what have you. Pop-up fire pit here, cool cabana. If you've watched our content previously, you'll notice we had a big 270 awning from 30-second awnings. That's been removed. So that's a recent change. We did that for weight reasons because behind Kate is a new Honda generator. Well, it's not actually new, it's a second-hand one we bought on our travels, but we had to substitute some weight to make that happen. So that's the reason it's not running an awning. A 4x4 Extras in Perth actually added these lights for us. There's white and there's also orange there as well for the bugs. Got that on both sides and that's absolutely brilliant. I will quickly show you this as well. So on the classic canopy, you'll see here the lock mechanisms are exposed. Now from time to time, things can move in the canopy and make those a little bit tricky to open. On the new TCX, they have completely covered those lock mechanisms. So that's a nice little upgrade on the TCX. And you know, definitely we're considering that for the future. While we're on this side, let's have a look at our toolboxes. So I added toolboxes behind the wheel arches on both sides. On the passenger, I have our AIB dual pump compressor there. As you can see, there's lots of dust around the sides and the seals here, but no dust inside. So the seals on this classic canopy have held up really well. We've done a lot of dirty, dusty roads, beaches, and everything has stayed pretty clean. So that's testament to the seals here on the TC Boxes canopy. These are really functional and I'm really happy that I put them on. The other side is just used for some tools. So I've got bottle jacks and some straps. Let's move around the back. I decided not to mount a spare tire on the rear of the canopy here. It's just got the original one underneath. I've got a 33-inch tire, fit under the Ranger, no worries. So I wanted to have my Max Tracks here nice and accessible. These are the Max Tracks Lite and I've got 4 here just bolted through the canopy and that's worked really, really well for us. It also keeps all our recovery gear in one area because we've got our 1-meter trundle drawer here. Open that up. As you can see, a little bit of dust on the top, but when I open it up inside, Everything is nice and clean and dry, which is excellent. And I've got all my recovery gear there accessible. They do a bigger trundle drawer if you don't have a water tank. So I'll explain, that's the reason we had the 1 meter, because behind that is actually a 70 litre water tank. It's the best thing we've done on this setup, because it means we can use the 200 litres of water we've got in our caravan. When we run low, we can put 70 litres in here, go to the local town, top that up, transfer it back into our caravan. Or if we need water on the road, which we often do, filling up water bottles or washing up, that kind of stuff, we have access to that water when we're full driving on day trips. So that's absolutely fantastic. You'll see here as well, I put the X bar on by Heyman Reese. Now you can obviously run the standard tow bar with the next gen Ranger, but I decided to put that on. The reason being, I've got these extra recovery points, and it works quite well with the T.C Boxes canopy. And I did add a couple of lights to the rear of the canopy as well. We have used them from time to time when we've got to camp late or we're reversing and we need to put those on. Really helps setting up at night. Water tank, I'll just show you that quickly in operation. So we've got our water fill there and a little switch, and then turn that and we've got running water. Definitely something to think about. Now, whether you go the 70 litre under the canopy option or you put one on the headboard, I think extra water in a setup like this is definitely something you should consider. Just be aware of the weight implications doing that, that's all, because it does add an extra 70 kilos if that is full to the top. And that's really the reason we've gone for this setup. We've got a GCM of 6.4 tons, we've got the canopy and all the gear, so we just had to make that weight work. And we're at a point now where, you know, if we want to add something heavy like the generator, we had to get rid of that awning. But to be honest, not a big loss. We've only used it a handful of times on our travels and we have a fantastic awning on our caravan. And not having drawers, dividers, does give you that flexibility, but that's why I'm so interested in the new TCX, because it is modular. I can put drawers in, I can move stuff around in the future. So if I need somewhere to securely put, say, camera equipment, for example, or valuables, you can do that. If you want a divider to keep things from moving around like a generator, you can do that. It really the sky's the limit on what you can do with that setup. Whereas with the Classic, which is this model here, you're sort of drilling in dividers and drawers and they're relatively fixed at that point. This version, like the TCX, is jack-off compatible, which means you can undo bolts and lift the canopy off the tray if that's something you want to do as well. And both the Classic and the TCX come with a headboard or no headboard option. So this is a headboard, and what I mean by that is the headboard sort of sits to the top of the vehicle here. This is your tray. So if we were to take this canopy off, this would just be an open space, but we'd still have a headboard protecting this side of the vehicle. So that's just something for you to think about as well. If you do build your dream canopy setup with TC Boxes, you may have the option of having either a headboard or no headboard option, depending if you're running a water tank. It will save you a bit of weight not having the headboard on there, but it just means if you do take it off for whatever reason in the future, you're not going to have that protection here. All right, let's jump on the roof of the canopy here. You're going to see this thing here. It's a Starlink Mini, and behind that I've mounted a 160 watt flexible solar panel from King. So yeah, pretty cheap option. Works well to keep our 100 amp hour lithium battery that we've got behind our seats here topped up on the road. So yeah, that's a good little setup. We have been doing some dirty roads, so I think that solar panel needs a bit of a clean, but it does still work well. I guess probably the biggest thing for me is the build quality. Nothing has cracked, nothing's come loose, nothing's shaken apart. So the build quality is very strong on this, and we've done a hell of a lot of corrugations and bad roads. So this has definitely stood up to the conditions in Australia. It's full aluminium construction, it's not going to rust. So that's a big consideration as well. Whereas if you look at a steel canopy, yes, it might be a bit stronger, but you're adding extra weight and you've got that rust consideration. So yeah, alloy was definitely a big decision factor for us as well. There's really nothing to report on it that's gone wrong. Like, it absolutely has been flawless the whole time we've had it. The seals have stayed into place, no water's got in it, nothing's shaken loose, nothing's broken. So from that perspective, it's been really, really great. I'll show you the wiring in a minute as well, but the way that we have set it up is that with an Anderson point connection, I can actually just remove that and take this canopy off very easily if I wish in the future as well. That's our battery box and Anderson connections there. Literally undo these and the canopy can come off, and the other one is for our solar input. It's been a great year with our TC Boxes tray and canopy. It's been flawless. It's allowed us to sort of do our lap of Australia because storage is a big consideration for us. We do have some in our caravan, but we really need this extra space, and it's been absolutely fantastic. So I'd love to hear from you. Do you have a TC Boxes tray canopy? What's your experience? Are you considering one? Do you have any questions? Let us know in the comments below. Happy to answer those. As always, thanks for watching. We appreciate your support. We do weekly videos, so if this is of interest, hit that subscribe button. And we also do updates on our lap of Australia, camp destinations, what have you. But yeah, cheers for watching. We'll see you in the next video.